Visit.
Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen. And my guest and co-host today is Jason D McKean. And he has been the voice of over 1 million Om recordings throughout the world. He's the Om Tarot Wizard. He's been doing a lot of, classes too throughout the world, mostly in Japan. Yeah, he's big there as far as teaching tarot, and many years now. So that's fun too.
Yeah, it has been
Mhm.
2-3 years, something along those lines.
Yeah,
Very, very grateful for that opportunity.
yeah, yeah. It's been wonderful. And so, yeah, and I do it as a memory test. Usually every week, trying to remember all his titles for the Om series that he has for music. Of these that they just are very popular. But so I'm not going to do them today. We'll wait till next week.
Okay.
But
Does that mean that you forgot them?
no. I know all of them. But
Okay.
it's just like, no, we have to not every time.
All right. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. But thank
So,
you. It's great
yeah,
to see you. Happy 2023, Tara.
it's really great to see you too, Jason. Yeah, happy 2023. Yeah, it's been a good close to the year. I felt that, it was fine. It was quiet because December was quite well. I mean, my fall was very, very filled with activity. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy that by the time New Year's came, it was just like slowing down and being enriched by
Did
a
you
lot.
did you party till midnight on New Year's Eve?
No, I read. No, my goal was to read on New Year's.
What were you reading? Do you care to share?
I like to read different books, I could have been doing the Archangel Archie journaling notebook, but
But you
no,
weren't.
I usually study like Cunningham, and I was studying Exploring Jupiter by Arroyo. Yeah, I mean, I read nonfiction, so like astrology books and
Okay. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, that's
metaphysical
great.
books out of my library, because there's just not enough time in life to get to my whole library. I've collected all these beautiful, amazing books. So I have to take, time to read some great books.
Was
And
wet.
I'm doing all those astrology classes now, the astrology school. I have Star Love Astrology School with the Matthew Engel, and who's based out of San Francisco. And so he and we have this, we do these classes. We have about 16 now. So they're getting up there.
And where are they? Where can
They're,
people tune into them?
well, right now they're on Teachable. They're on his website, MatthewEngel.com. They will be on my website, TaraInsight.com, upcoming in the next few weeks. They'll be there. Yeah. So they're uploaded. Most of them are uploaded now, but yeah, they're going to be uploaded and shared. Yeah. And you can rent them. So you don't have to worry about, having the content, too much content on your computers or, saving it. You can just, because we've gotten into this whole thing about space, that we need our space. Yeah. So we can rent it. It gives you
Awesome.
2 hours to rent it. Yeah, these classes. Yeah, that's good.
Our New Year's Eve was wet here in Southern California.
Yes, it was
And
very wet.
so it was really, the very dedicated who probably, went out to parties and and
Yeah.
things like that. But I was watching the Seattle fireworks, when the clock struck midnight, and they're just right around the Space Needle there, and they had a combination of these raw, the rockets and the bursts of the fireworks, along with a drone show where they put up, a couple hundred drones, and all these drones are synchronized and they can form words and images and stuff like that. So the combination of the two, it's really quite beautiful. It's so different, and it's I wonder if at some point, we'll just stop doing the fireworks part of it, even though there's this kind of like visceral, kind of raw, whenever fireworks are going off, it's like, whoa, it's kind of like, I mean, it is, there's a fun aspect to it, but seeing like this synchronized, it's like watching a big TV in the sky. It's like that's kind of cool too.
Right. Right. It is beautiful. Well, we had such a great 4th of July this year. Everest was with her dad and we went off and watched fireworks, and it was just spectacular. So I didn't, I knew that we weren't going to be seeing them anywhere in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was TV or else. So you just watched it on the TV, Seattle?
Yeah. I don't even know if it was on the TV. No, it was on the internet. Yeah, it was on my phone.
Right.
It's like feeling the glory of these fireworks that fill the sky, but I'm watching them on my phone.
Right. Okay.
That's the beauty of technology. All right.
Right. It's probably on YouTube somewhere now. Yeah, beautiful. It sounded beautiful.
It really was, it really was. I love Seattle. I love to visit Seattle. It's
Seattle's kind of gotten a bad rap lately.
It has. It
Yeah.
has.
I mean,
and
there's a lot of homeless there, a lot of drugs.
That's a lot of cities.
Yeah, that's a lot of cities. You're right.
It's not just Seattle, but it's they had like a really spectacular show to watch. So is part of your New Year's resolutions, is that to expand on the astrological part of your teachings and all?
Yeah, that's been kind of my goal for a few years anyway. Yeah, is to get my Vortex Mystery School up and moving along, and I have so many wonderful ideas. So, I want to incorporate them. And I was just talking to Jason this morning too, before the show, that, I wanted Jason to come in. Yeah, to do some, shows there too. So we can have classes.
Some tarot classes, right?
Yeah, tarot classes would be really good.
Yeah. Are you a resolution, like a Jan 1 resolution? It's like, okay, this is where I'm gonna start the new me. And is there, because
I get all the time.
I'm usually not that person.
Yeah.
But there's like one thing that I was like saying, I want to do more of that this year.
Yeah. Really? What did you say that you want to do more of?
I want to just put myself out more into the public.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's through podcasting or, live classes or experiences, appearances here and there. That's my goal for 2023.
Yeah, no, I always use January 1st as resolution. It's not really for my resolutions. It's for, just
what is that?
What is my soul goals, and where would I like to change them or change them up, or add more energy to it. So yeah.
Resolution.
Yeah.
Like SOUL. So explain that.
Well, I just think that, your major goals that you've set in your Akashic records, to accomplish in this life, where does your destiny lie, and are you living it? And how are you sabotaging yourself in any way? So that's basically where I go with that. I'm not a big sabotager in general. People will say things to me, but I was seeing that cute little movie. It was yesterday, I think. I don't think I put it up, but it was about Pinocchio and how it's about the pineal gland and your third eye, and how that movie was really about you coming into no lying, no bad friends, no you know, thieves, no, you know, because remember Pinocchio goes through all these bad times of wanting to drugs, drinking, anything, you know, that kind of thing, you know, is like, you know, rope yourself in, be in your auric space, learn to like yourself, um be happy every moment, because we're creating our reality. And so we live this illusion, and so are we gonna sit, you know, and plus I feel that there are shamanic signs when things don't come easily to you, that it's usually because you're being saved. And if you know, so many people want things that are just not good for them, and so you have to know that you're fine. You know, the sentinel angels are usually, you know, you've asked for a good to great life. Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Yeah. Instead, you fight circumstances. I want to be with this person. They're, you know, they're not necessarily good for you. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, we find that relationships are, you know, a cornerstone of, you know, what people wrestle with kind of most,
Yeah.
you know, in
True.
the counseling realm and all.
Mhm.
And, you know, it's coming into a place of self-love, you know, self-awareness enough to know, you know, if you're becoming too you know, frenzied inside of yourself, if you're becoming imbalanced
Yeah.
because of the wants, the desires, that, you know, relationships are, you know, I tell my people that no one is a master of relationships, that we're all working on relationships, whatever age we're at.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we can, you know, there's always like someone who will appear who's like a challenge, you know, to, it's like, oh damn, I thought I had, you know, like a really deep understanding of people and humanity, and then you came along and you just like you know,
Yeah.
um there's
Well, remind you that not everybody is like on your level or on your, you know, on your path, and they come to like shake up your journey somehow.
yeah.
Yeah. And there's that for sure. And how are you reacting to it, and how are you handling it? You know.
Yeah, and part of the new you, right, for
You.
2023, we can always like say,
Mhm.
you know what, this is my day to, you know, make changes, to
Mhm.
you know, have an ideal that we're moving towards. um you know, we may not be perfect in it, and, you know, probably won't be,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile to try to embrace and embody as much of those qualities as we can.
Yeah. I mean, we just need to step into it instead of stepping away from what we want or how we want things to look like. You know, that's generally how we want things.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So i
yeah.
I pulled a card
Yes.
for for my path
Right. Okay.
of moving towards, you know, my resolution.
Right.
And I have the 8 of Swords, which is,
Okay.
you know, I see as one of just the self limitation
Right.
of like, you know, can I do this? Do I give myself permission to do this? And you know, so that can be the starting point where, you know, if I want something, if I think that, you know, something is of benefit to me, and then I start to uh you know, work towards it, to plan it out, to you know, is there a point where I get into this place of like, oh, can I really do that? Do I want to do that? You know, it's like, how do I fit that into my time schedule? You know, where I start to overthink the process, over like schedule it, or um, you know, that's the place for me to catch myself. you know,
Mhm.
to have that awareness of like, ah, I see what you're doing there. You're putting up this obstacle so that, you know, you're putting a kibosh on that overall all desire. Um, so that looks like a thing for me to watch out for, you
Mhm.
know, is
Okay.
the barbed wire of my own mind.
Right,
These fences that
right.
we'll build and say, well, I'd love to do
Nope.
that. I just can't.
Yeah, no limitations,
Yeah.
no being blind to your destiny. Yeah,
Yeah. You know, it's like the mind, it only knows what it knows.
right.
Right.
And there's always a way out. There's always a way to do things. So, and the thing is that uh limitation is self-imposed most of the time.
A vast majority of the time.
Yeah.
And with those things that, you know, like my goal is not impossible, you
No.
know. And you know, it's like uh you know, over the years, it's like I've been cultivating relationships with stores, with other podcasters, with, you know, a whole community of people who are into, you know, the ideas, the spiritual ideas, the metaphysical ideas. And
Yeah.
um you know, I think that just being more present out in the world, I think that that's you know, I, that's just where, you know, my inner compass is just pointing, is just to do that.
Right. Well, my card for the year is, I just basically was, I just pulled the Queen of Wands. So it's to go forward. Chop, chop. Be
Yeah.
seen, be out in the public, do what I want to do. I have a lot of growth there on that wand. Yeah, it's snuggle in when you need to, but get going, move it.
There's a lot of creative energy too that
Yeah.
one can harness, and you know, allow for that to be what's seen, that creative, like slash spiritual energy,
Mhm.
that one that you know, it's like you embrace it. I mean, it is who you are at your core.
Mhm.
And to be able to embody it, that's where, you know, it goes out into the world, and others can be inspired. They can warm, you know, their own beings by that fire, ignite their own uh you know, spark. It's like it's very inspirational.
Yeah, good. I'll lead you out, Jason, when you feel blind. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. For the whole year, I was getting that, you know, there's a lot of changes upcoming. There's a lot of messages coming in. We're supposed to be really listening to the year and life. And there's a lot of magical beginnings. Tonight is a full moon.
Hmm.
And so that's culminating in a few hours, really, you know, now. And
What
this
kind of moon
evening,
is it?
it is the wolf moon. And it is at 16 degrees Cancer. And so that is it's you know, it's a moon that's about changes. And so it is about making plans, creating the next steps in your life. You know, because we've been through COVID the last few years, and we're finally just really getting away from it, even though, you know, I've been doing a lot of research on astrology because, you know, Matthew and I are working together. So we have these chats where we are a couple hours at it, you know, doing research. And we've like, you know, we're years in thinking that we can't have something. So as a whole, and so it's like, oh, we got to get out of that thinking, you know, because that should open up in 2026. But but really it's a great time right now. There's so many planets that are on Earth oriented. Our retrograde planets, are going to come out in February. So, it's like, we're really going to go forward upcoming. So for a few months anyway, we get a real, like, let's go. So I would venture to say that that's all of us, being willing to take that step forward instead of thinking that there's some limitation or holding ourselves back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. So it's like getting getting pumped up or getting a boost.
Getting a boost. Yeah. Yeah, because we're all, the world is full of opportunities. They say sometimes, like, America, the streets are paved with gold. Well, no, the world is paved with gold. I mean, it's your viewpoint. There's always a way to see things, and a way to make money, and a way to be successful, and a way to love your family, and a way to, be in camaraderie with your friends, and, and to live a good life, to keep stepping forward and not, rolling backwards. Because, if we get into too many projects, or we get into too much overthinking, or we get into stress, we get into, our health declines, different things like these, we have to, like, it's like, rope it in. While you have an opportunity to rope it in. Yeah.
To not overwhelm yourself unnecessarily.
Yeah, you don't have to overwhelm yourself. You just have to realize you're gonna go forward so nicely. If you just bring it back a notch, it's like a horse, like letting it run out of control over, you want to canter, you want to run, you enjoy running. Like me, I love the feel of, letting a horse run. It's one of my greatest joys of life, is to race around on horses. But, I don't want to ever hurt the horse, their legs, because, my horses never have had leg problems, because I never allowed them to have, I never put them out of control. They were always well conditioned, well trained, but the thing is, what are you doing with that? You want to allow yourself to run free, but not out of control. And if you have to walk, just walk free. But keep your life moving. That's the big thing, keep our minds going, keep our bodies moving. Those are very important things on the earth plane. It doesn't say stasis, sit in a chair all day and be on the computer. It doesn't. We have to be moving our bodies as well. Yeah. Go get a dog to walk. Something.
That's it's great exercise.
Oh yeah,
I
walking.
find that, because dogs, like, they God, what did I see? I saw, like, one of our neighbors just got like a husky mix.
Cute.
And that's where, it becomes like a power walk, when you get a breed like that. Our girl Ananda, she's like in the past, she wants to be carried. That's her idea of the walk, is where she is carried. And
but
then
she's a little tiny dog.
well, but then, it's like you let her down, and then she's okay to walk back. She's like, okay, I can walk back, but she doesn't like walking to a turnaround point. It's very, very odd. And it's like, that's just, it's baked in. It's just, from day one, that she's wired that way. But yeah, well, you can do that with the little dogs. If you have like a big dog, a German Shepherd, it's not like you're going to carry, your German Shepherd.
The dogs all have such opinions, about the rain and everything. It's been like, okay.
It's a thing.
Ridiculous. Yeah. It's like out now.
I love telling my my neighbors, because out and I'll be like drenched, just be soaked, taking a Nanda out, and I'll just tell them, this is the joys of pet ownership.
Yeah, it is.
I walk in and Sue is just laughing at me because I'm just like, I'm just like a wet mess.
So that wasn't very good planning on your part.
Well, it's all like kind of nylon, like rain gear.
Oh, so you're in rain gear.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. No, I'm not, just like out there, like just, collecting it for, just to sit in wet clothes all day.
Right.
It's, and it's so hilarious because, it's like in California, it's like the rain is not, it doesn't rain like
Come on.
a lot, only when it does,
Right. Oh yeah.
only
And it's
when
been
it
snowing
does.
a lot too everywhere.
That's good. I mean, we need it. It's not a complaint.
Yeah.
It's never a complaint when we get our necessary rain.
Right. Yeah, my thing is if I worry about the weather, it's like if the animals they all kind of have their little nests and everything. So, all my animals, my horse and my dogs, they all are up, so I don't worry about them. Yeah.
You cultivate gratitude, for all of these, differences that take place, and, I think that's, that's not like the new me, but I think that, there are levels of thankfulness, of, good health when you have it, of, um, opportunities that show up,
Yeah.
to really like look at, those and just be, really, quite thankful for them, that, it's like, like in, counseling work and tarot work, it's like when one is recognized for what one can bring, through their counseling, either techniques or through the advice, it's like when you have like a track record, when you have like, clientele, it's like, that is something to be incredibly grateful for.
Yeah.
And I feel blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel very blessed in that.
So taking that into the new year is like definitely a part of,
Right.
it feels like it's part of that secret sauce.
And if it isn't blessed, what is it? Where's the changes? Where's the subtle changes that you need to make? Could be a mindset, could be an attitude change, could be just a viewpoint change, could be that you're going to give up complaining, could be that you're moving away from whatever has been holding you back. There's a lot of different things that come up that says, don't fall into some of those traps, because those are kind of the lower vibrational traps that get you kind of like stuck. Whereas, you're fighting with coworkers or you're fighting with anyone. Yeah. And that change it. Shamanically, you're supposed to. Yeah. You don't have to hold on. You don't have to, uplift somebody that's not appreciative of it. There's a lot of different things. I know that, that's hard if you have little kids or something, and then, they wear you out. It's not about that at all. It's about, your adult life, your adult decisions going forward.
Yeah, there's a lot of relationships of choice that
Mhm.
we have, that, that we can, reassess and, see if one can kind of pull back a little bit, if there's, a negativity, if there's a core part of the relationship that is not, it's not working for you, that it's not something that you find uh, a a resonance in, and it can be just a basic camaraderie, if there's nothing that you feel like is there, it's like, you
Right.
can change it up.
Right. Right. Yeah. So the thing is that, change sometimes it seems to be hard, but in reality, it's just starting to move away from problems, and even if it's money problems, the bottom line is that you are not defined. You are not going to take any of this with you someday. So the bottom line is you're not defined. Actually, the banks are supposed to work for you. The utility companies work for you. Everything is supposed to work for you. And when you get into that mindset, then they start working for you instead of you working for them. Because Brittany said this week, my little friend, Brittany Rose, she said, that we're the only species that pay to be on the planet. And it was just like, oh my God, you're right. How smart are we? Everything else, everybody lives for free. I mean, every species of insect and animal is free. So really, are we really that smart? But we love our lifestyles. We love sometimes maybe the champion of getting somewhere, but I don't know. Yeah. But it
Yeah.
is kind of a food for thought.
Well, I think food is probably at the, like, maybe the source of all of it as far as like being in the food chain. It's like, it's like what we set up for ourselves as a civilization is like a way of, congregating, um, so that one can feel safer. Not that it is,
Right.
again, I think that the ideal of it is that, there's safety in numbers.
Is there?
And well, it's like, if we turn on each other, then
Right.
it's not right. It's like,
Right. So
that
yeah.
the ideal on paper is that it's like, oh yeah, this absolutely works. But I think you were saying something earlier about, people having their space,
Right.
where, it's like where one can just kind of have a sense of freedom too,
Right.
and, I think that there's a happy balances that people can find. And, I think that if one is feeling, the stress, the pressure, and they want to change that, then that, it is an awareness of it that will start the process of the change, where you can change it for the better, that you don't just, look to, burn your bridges and, just do it all in one fell swoop. You can do it as a process. And I think that if just take it step by step, that that change doesn't have to be so, doesn't have to be, where you're cutting out relationships and, quitting jobs and doing all this stuff, like just all at once.
Well, yeah, you don't want to prematurely do some of that. But at the same time, if you need to make a change, this obviously is time to start making changes, because for the next month is a changing time. Yeah. Yeah. Up your game.
Yeah. And if you live in a cold climate, don't you know don't like lose your place
Oh,
warm
would
shelter.
Jason, don't lose your shelter. But
Yeah.
yeah, Jason loves the cold. When we lived in Alaska, he didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I don't care for the cold.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And
The cold is beautiful.
well, I used to have a ranch in Big Bear, and Lake Arrowhead. I had a house for so many years with snow.
I did
Oh yeah.
experience the snow that was like 4 feet high.
Didn't we get stuck the last time you were there or something?
Something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Arrowhead, absolutely. You know,
Yeah,
getting
we
stuck
got,
on the roads and stuff
yeah,
like that.
God. And then I have that crazy driveway. My gosh.
But
You're young and you choose crazy things, I guess. Because I look back and say, oh my gosh, why did I choose that house with that driveway? I mean, the driveway alone would have, should have said, no, forget it. Yeah, get it.
if one has choice about, visiting a place that is, not in their comfort zone, then yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love to, just hang out and, didn't kill me, but, being stuck in a place, or feeling like, oh my God, I've got to be here for, you know,
Yeah, I don't
years and
think
years
he
on
was
end.
ever stuck with me in Big Bear, but
No, not at all. Not
no,
at all. But,
no.
like growing up in Alaska and all, it
Mhm.
was like, that was a harsh environment.
Well, it's the snow stayed till like it would be snowing in April sometimes. You get really sick of the snow.
Yeah. Yeah. There was that one time that it snowed in May,
Yeah.
like 2 feet. And it was
Yeah.
just like, are you kidding me?
Right. And
Yeah.
it does that sometimes, like in Sedona and higher elevations too, but it melts. Like California snow melts pretty fast. And so, it was never like Alaska snow.
Whereas
Alaska
like
snow was
months and months and
crazy.
months and months
Well,
and
it
months.
stays. It stays. Yeah. And same thing with Colorado, or all of these, Wyoming, all the big snow places, the snow stays until it's ready to leave.
So part of my resolution then, if I just add an addendum to it, is to, it's okay to visit, like, some of these other places in the world. I just don't want to get stuck there that are cold climates.
Well, maybe that's where your card came up. You didn't get
That's my 8 of sworts, right? I'm
That's
already like
right. You
limiting
see, you're
myself. I'm
limiting
already
yourself
saying like,
already.
except for that, and
Yeah,
except for that, and
none of that. None of that.
see, I'm learning. I'm learning something about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. You can't be in limited thought process. Mhm.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's always, I'm good in any weather. I don't put myself into any box, because I'm enjoying the atmosphere and whatever the style is of the, architecture and all
Yeah,
that.
you're into it. I mean, it
I'm
is
into
like,
it.
you're a world traveler, and it's like, you've been in, the gamut. You've run the gamut as far as like
Mhm.
the palaces and the huts,
Yeah, I'm comfortable in all of it.
You've had spiders on the walls, and
Yeah, lived through all of it. Yeah, right.
uh,
Them looking at you with their 8 eyes. Remember, spiders have 8 eyes. Yeah.
that's wild.
Mm,
Um, so do you think that, what, let me pull a card for you. You want to pull a card for
oh
me?
yeah, I'll pull a card for you.
All right. Why don't you pull a card?
I'm pulling a card for you. Oh, you got a great card. Go ahead.
Oh, what is that great card?
The Lovers. Must gonna have a great year this year. Yeah,
Awesome.
very nice. This is great. This is card, it's a Gemini card. And so it's all about communicating as well. You know, the open communication between men and women. You're gonna probably make so many good friends, and your wife and you are gonna have just a incredible, maybe love year. So this is a beautiful card for you. And there's, you know, you will probably travel together and create a lot of fun. But it's a card of really genuineness and yeah, seeing the authentic in others.
Excellent.
Right, that was nice.
Excellent. See if I can pick
Very nice.
a great card for you too.
Try to get, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. You don't have to pick that one.
Well, it's not horrible. It's the Four of Swords.
Oh, Four of Swords.
The Four of Swords. And
yeah,
you know, I you know, because of your busyness, your scheduling and all that, it's a card of reminding you to rest when you
there's a
can.
book on top of my chest.
There's a book, yeah, that's
yeah.
you know, and to you know, yes, push yourself forward in creation and all, but also, you know, take the necessary time to you know, get away, you know, to I mean, I see it sometimes as like a vacation card where, you know, you don't have to take on, you know, everyone else's stuff just all the time. You can find those moments of you know,
I have a vacation
recharging
planned already. Yeah. So
something that you can talk about.
I don't know. But it'll be fun.
It's interesting. I pulled 2 swords cards.
Yeah.
For each of us. But you know, it looks like there's a lot of challenge, you know, for us, good creative challenges, you know, just being active and to you know, just kind of make sure that our mind is rested and that it's not
It's a good healing card.
It's a great healing card. I mean, it's just, you know, it's like once the whirlwind of activity is over, you know, is to take a step back and recharge, you know, so you can be ready for the next.
Yeah.
So I see it as a positive thing.
Yeah, it's a good recharger.
Yeah.
Charger. Thank you. That's my year, is to recharge when I'm overworking. So yeah, that I will plan to do.
Yeah, good. Good. Yeah, it's like what else you know, can people do for, you know, their own you know, resolutions, or, you know, any advice for moving towards that new version of themselves, the new you?
Yeah, the new you. Well, you know, I mean, it just popped into my head. I'm not sure that I really want to do this, but I always think that, oh, am I ready for another horse again? Because I had 2. Now, you know, I'm always doing 2s. Well, I lost Bella in April.
Are you ready?
I don't know. Am I? Pull a card.
So the 3 of Wands comes up, which is, you know, you looking at that prospect, but not quite connecting with it exactly yet. Like it's there. The seed of the desire is there. And, you know, if you had a horse that appeared, you know, if there was an opportunity to see one or so
already,
then you know, that brings you closer to it. But it's like the desire by itself is not enough to get you there. It's like you have to take the step forward.
Well, I was seeing that I was going to have 3. So it was okay.
All right. Well, it's like
Kidding.
when you're there though.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, you were seeing that out of the card.
Yeah. No, help in time of need, but I'll have 3. Yeah. Yeah. No, there is one. Somebody wants to give me a horse, and he's a gorgeous, wonderful horse. But yeah, I'm not too sure.
Well, one takes it up into like, because I look at the tarot as a flow of being in a cycle of like, starts with the desire, which is the wands. It moves up into the mind for just planning it out, like just like figuring out, can I afford another horse right now? Can I,
of course,
do I have the time for it? What's the logistics of it?
Well, I
right?
have a good team behind me.
And then like taking the action, the owning the desire out in the world.
Yeah, for me, I want, I mean, like the horse that's being offered to me, I mean, I love him dearly. He's sweet. And but he's like, has a doesn't like to cross water, and he's persnickety, and he's older, and towards, really I want another athlete. I'm big on athletes and
right. So
riding.
So it's the buts.
Yeah.
Right. It's the buts.
I don't mind taking care of him too, but I'd have to. Yeah, I really want an athlete upcoming.
All right. So for anyone who's like listening, right, who is like hearing their own like resolutions, and they say, this is what I want, ... But it's the buts that we're not fully convinced of, right? As of that moment, to say say yes.
Of course, I'm not saying yes yet. No.
Well, that's what the 3 is.
Right.
Looking at it's saying it's there,
it's a
but
desire,
it's like I don't know how I put it all together. I mean, but
well, I
mean, look at that as far as like again, anyone who has their resolution, and there is that firm conviction of a lot of people who say, I am absolutely doing this year, or at this time.
Oh yeah, some people have that.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
No, I love Lyrica, and
and if you hear yourself saying, I totally am doing this, I'm going there, but maybe this needs to happen first, or whatever, then it's like one is still kind of on the fence about that commitment to self, or to the action that it takes. It's like I got the gym membership, but I don't know if I want to go on Wednesday or Thursday, because I've got this plan for as far as it's that wishy-washy part of it.
I know everybody does wishy-washy on the gym,
right? But that's the thing that can be the thing that.
But it's nice to own the gym membership and to go when you want. Yeah.
But you have to go in order to get the benefit of why you have a gym membership.
Right.
Because it people like to talk about their gym membership. Yeah, I have it. Here's my card. But
on your
going.
Yeah, it's an app to get in. Yeah, but I mean, but it's great. Once you get there, it's great. So it is getting there.
And you have to work out. You have to do the work of it. That's the thing about resolutions, because the idea of it is amazing.
Yeah,
I am doing this, but I don't have the time for it.
Well, you have to absolutely make time for the exercise part of it.
That's the resolve part
on my list. Sometimes it's definitely, I'm taking clients, and I'm doing seminars, and I'm in places where, my gym membership doesn't work. And, but the bottom line is that I feel really compelled always to go to the gym a few times a week, be there. But, there's a certain level too. It's like, really, aren't you going to do a little more than that? Yeah. So you get that. when
To
you're,
like once you're
regular in the
there,
gym. Yeah. It's like, oh, could do a little more, Yeah.
right? Dial up the speed on the treadmill and all,
Yeah,
just
no,
push
I do
yourself.
already push myself, but yeah, I could do a lot more, lots.
You could do it for longer.
Yeah, longer. No, I'm not necessarily. No, you have to get into a routine, as far as like, you don't want to hurt yourself, and you don't want to get bored. You definitely don't want to bore
Don't
yourself.
they have like TVs and stuff like that,
Oh
like
my God,
built on the thing?
my gym, yeah, is so overwhelmingly tactile. Yeah, it's crazy, but I love it. I do love it. Okay. And I'm very hooked on, I watch HGTV. I always watch HGTV whenever I'm like on an elliptical or anything. Yeah.
It,
Mhm. Yeah. I love it.
like a show.
Oh yeah. No, the home
Oh,
makeover shows. Oh yeah. Love them.
okay. All right.
Love them. Yeah. I'm all about it. But I've made it okay. If my time's up, then I'm not watching until the end. I figure I'll catch it again somewhere. So just let it go. And I'm not a right on time person either. Like if I want to go in the morning, I go in the morning. If I want to go in the evening, I go in the evening. I want to go in the afternoon. I'm not one of those that, it has to be a certain time, and so I have to get my certain show.
So you make it work with your like natural like clock inside.
Yeah, like
right?
there's a lull in my schedule, then yeah, I'll guess, oh yeah, no, why not just go over the gym?
I think that's a big part too of where people can really assess their natural rhythm and look to get into that too, as opposed to trying to force something that I think that's part of self-sabotage, is where it's like, well, I'm going to get up at 5 in the morning and do this, and if they're not that person, they're sabotaging that right away. Is to know yourself and to know that, okay, this will actually work for me, and there's no excuses that I can give myself to not do this at this particular time.
Right. And the same thing with horse chores. I do horse chores almost every day too, but I don't consider that. I would like to see what my steps are, but in reality, I don't think of that as exercise per se, because it's, it's not enough for me. So, but the thing is that, I don't stand around and talk to everybody, and I don't do it at the gym either. Always put in earbuds. You can always, I'm always friendly, but I don't chat.
It's not social hour.
It's not social hour for me. Neither is the horse. I mean, I have way too many chores. Yeah.
Why don't
Although
you
I talk more at the barn than I do at the gym.
why don't you create an exercise program for people in the area that's called horse chores, and everyone is just doing like horse chores,
buckets.
right? Buckets, of oats, and shoveling, horse manure, just
Yeah.
all right, switch up hands. Okay, now another 20 reps,
You're right. Oh yeah, no, I always make fun of all that in my exercise here. Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said about
And then I walk the dogs
doing all that
too.
stuff too.
And the dogs at a certain time of the day, right before it's going to be dark, they're like on me. Like, we're gonna go now, right? We're gonna go now. It's waiting at the door, prompting me. So it's hilarious. Because I have Cheyenne's dog too. So, I have 4 dogs to walk. It's like, great.
That's the joys of pet ownership. And you don't walk them all at once, right?
Mm, no.
It's
Now,
like,
Ghost goes on every walk. The big dog goes on every walk, but the littler dogs, yeah, no, they take turns.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they
so
take turns.
you're,
That means I walk 3 dogs
yeah,
3 times out.
yeah.
And I'm walking. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's okay though. But we don't walk every day because, it depends on my schedule. Yeah. But they're on it, they know what time of day it is.
Oh
They're
yeah.
hilarious. Yeah, like, oh, we're by the door. Are we gonna go? Yeah.
No, they're
Now
very smart.
I can't even spell W-A-L-K. They know what that is.
Spell it backwards,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing something.
or Pig
Big
Latin, or
Latin. Yeah.
or finding, like, because we speak a lot of Japanese in our home,
Right.
and they know both food and gohan, which is
Right.
when they hear that, ears perk up, and it's like gohan. Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
one has to find those ways of communicating and not like letting them in on it.
Right. So, yeah, and I want to explain too that if you've seen any Japanese ghosts walking in and around Jason, it's because they have their ancestor curtains open. Yes. And it's Sue's parents who have passed. It's our nephew, Aaron, who passed about 11 years ago now, 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
2009.
Oh, 14 years ago. Well, almost 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Jasper and
Yeah.
Claire,
And
our
Jasper and Claire,
our
the dogs.
our dogs from the 2000s.
Yeah, Cavaliers. And how about is Archie there yet or no?
Archie's still in the main
Okay.
living room there, because he's got a vase with flowers and things like
Yeah,
that.
I can't even imagine that Archie's gone, but yeah, we loved Archie. He was such a beautiful dog. So yeah, so anyway, the ancestors back here. So they've opened the curtain of the ancestors because
Yeah,
of the new
for the
year.
New Year's. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the plaques there. He's
Yes. Beautiful plaques.
yeah. And Sue's grandma too.
Oh, Sue's grandma too.
Yeah, is back there.
Mm.
Um, well, it looks like our time is coming
Yes.
to a close here.
So honor your ancestors. We're supposed to honor our ancestors too for the new year. And, they took a lot of risks in their lives. And, Americans, they all risk their lives to be in America. So, we know that it's within our DNA to live our very best, and everyone in the world to live your very best. We have wonderful, amazing ancestors who made it through diseases and all sorts of things. So we're strong. We're very strong. And, continue that.
I think that living at your very best is at the core of any resolution that we make. To better ourselves, to to challenge ourselves, to attain our health as strong as we can be, and to listen to what inspires us the most, and how we can give back in that by being an inspiration in what it is that we do, and allowing others to warm themselves by that fire, and ignite their own sparks, because we're always setting examples, potentially be their best as well. So there's lots of ways that we can do that, and finding what it is that you're naturally inclined towards, and also what you've trained for. It's like, kick it up a notch, and make 2023 an incredible year for you.
Right. We definitely need that. just to get our minds going in the right direction. So visualization, meditation, you know, you need MP3s. Jason and I definitely have them. Yeah. So let's go.
What's your website, Tara?
TaraInsight.com. TaraInsight.com. How about you, Jace?
I'm Jason D, as in Dragon Lord McKean.
Okay.
JASONDMCKEAN.com, and Facebook, Jason D McKean, oddly enough, and Jason Terrell Wizard on Instagram.
Right. I'm Tara Sutphen and Tara Insight on all social media. Okay. Lots of love, everyone.
Blessings, everyone. Happy 2023.
Yes. Have a beautiful, amazing full moon tonight. Full moon. Mwah.